Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here
All right.
and being a part of my class assignment.
Glad to be here.
Okay. What is your name?
My name's Olivia, and I'm her daughter.
Yay! She's not being paid for this.
I'm not.
The reason you're here is my assignment is to evaluate my motivational skills in helping you to change something in your life that it's not a problem. It's just something that you would like to work on, and that's you want to change. And
Okay.
so, what area is something that you want to focus on and change it?
Well, I'm an introvert, and I'm kind of shy when it comes to meeting people, and I'd really like to be able to be more outgoing or even like more confident in myself when I'm talking to people or even meeting new people, because my job, like I'm surrounded by a lot of people because I'm in nursing, and I have to introduce myself and do all of these things that are just kind of like, I don't know, and talk about myself, and I don't know, so maybe like improving that, being more outgoing.
Okay. So, do you feel that you can't talk to people, or do you just want to be a better communicator, or what do you want to focus on?
I think I can communicate fine. I think I just get really nervous when I talk to people, especially like people I don't really know that well, or like I want people to like me, so I kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of like a people pleaser sometimes, so like, yeah.
So that I can better understand, can you give me an example of something maybe that has recently happened to you that you might have looked back on and thought, oh, maybe I should have done this a little bit better?
Yeah, let me think about that for a second. Well, I just started a small group with my church, and we meet on Tuesdays, and one of my friends asked me to be a part of it, and I didn't know anybody there. So I had like acquaintances that I kind of knew, but no one I really actually knew. And it makes me cringe every time we have to go around and be like, hi, introduce yourself. What's your name? What's a fun fact about yourself? Like all those things. And you have to sit there and think about what's a fun fact about yourself. And I don't know. So probably that, like being more confident when like I'm in a big group of people, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Especially, if you're in certain roles that you feel that you have to be able to reach out to other people and want that to be more of a strength. Is that what you're saying? You don't look at it so much as a strength right now?
Yeah. No, yeah. I definitely feel like I'm lacking when it comes to meeting new people and putting myself out there, confidently.
Well, in some of the past positions that you've had or jobs, have you ever felt that you did exert yourself more, or that you showed strength in communication or connecting with people?
Yeah, I feel like when I'm a camp counselor and I'm in an environment that's really fun, I'm better, especially with kids too. Like they're so easygoing, and I feel like they're not going to judge me because they're so small. But yeah, so probably like being a camp counselor, or even like meeting people that you just hit it off with a person and you're like, it just comes naturally. Probably that, but like small talk makes me cringe and I'm horrible at it.
Well, so what I'm hearing then is like on one hand you're really comfortable working with children and communication's easier, but when it comes to a peer group situation or a new scenario or something where you're not in charge or in control of, you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's exactly it. Like being in a new environment. Like I don't really do well with change.
So what do you think is the difference of working with children versus with adults?
With children, there's no threat that they're going to judge you based off what you look like, or, I mean, if they do, they're really just upfront about it, and they don't mean it in a harmful way. But I feel like with adults, I don't know, it's different. Like kids, it just comes, they're fun, and they just like, there's a lot of things to talk about, and they say the most random things. But then with adults, it's always like, what do you do for a living? And people kind of like, I don't know,
So in a way, you're feeling that the adults, when they question you, is more in a judgmental tone.
Yeah.
And that you're being judged instead of being taken at face value.
Yeah,
for
no.
your values.
And I'm not saying that like every person that I meet is judging me, but I just feel like we get in a routine of being like, hi, how are you? What do you do for a living? What do you blah blah blah? Like, are you in college? What are you studying? And all that stuff. And I don't know. I feel like people make like prejudgments about you are before like about who you are before they actually know. You know?
So do you think that they probably don't get to know you, but they're just judging your appearance?
Kind of, yeah. Or like what I do, yeah, and how I look, and yeah, that's stuff.
Okay, well, I understand. So basically, um, if you, I have a question that if you went into another group, or say like you had another small group that you're going into,
Uh-huh.
what do you think that are your strengths that you bring to the small group, or what would you do differently?
Um, let's see. Strengths. I definitely think I'm a good listener. I think that like I'm really empathetic and I like genuinely want to get to know people. Um, I don't know. I have a good heart.
No, I could see that
Yeah.
about you, and I
I
could see
just
why, like, why children would, gravitate toward you. And why do you think? And this is just a question. Why do you think that children would gravitate to you, but your peers or maybe adults will not?
mm, I don't know. Maybe because I act differently. I feel like when I'm around adults, I kind of like put on a shell and I'm like, "Hi, like my name's Olivia," um, and I'm not super like open as I am with kids. Like kids, I'm just like the fun older person, and with adults, I'm kind of like I don't know, like business mode, professional mode, kind of yeah, I don't know, kind of guarded when I come to other adults.
Well, do you think that the way that your skill set is with children can maybe you can carry some of those strengths? I mean, what do you think you do really well with children that might also come into, in a peer group or in a small group?
Um, Probably like my enthusiasm with kids. I don't know. I feel like I said before, I'm very open and friendly and bubbly and all whatever all that stuff when I'm with kids, and like I feel like there's no threat of judgment. And if I brought that to like a small group, I've been trying to, um, yeah, without a fear of what people think about me and stuff.
Well, if your strengths, from what I hear and I can see with you, if you're open, you've got a big heart, you're enthusiastic, do you think those are traits that people in a small group or people that you first meet might also be attracted to? I mean, do you think something changes once people grow up and become adults, or do you think they still have that desire?
I think everybody has that desire. Like, I mean, I have that desire too to like get to know some. I'd remember someone that's like real. You know, like I always remember someone that's not afraid to be themselves. But I don't know why when we get older, like we feel like we have to be a certain way and kind of gravitate away from ourselves. You know.
You just said something that was interesting to me. That you said that that you like someone who is real. What are the qualities that you think are like a real person? Like what is attractive to you if that person was in a small group, or you meet them and you have that instant, previously you said like an instant connection. What do you think? What are those qualities that you like?
I like someone that's outgoing, someone that's confident in themselves, someone that's not like every other person that just kind of stands out. I don't know, kind of like unique. I don't know, someone that's different, um, and not afraid to be themselves, and someone that genuinely like wants to get to know you. And you can kind of feel when someone is just getting to know you to like check the box to say that they talk
Mm-hmm.
to you, you know. But someone that genuinely wants to like to hear from you. I don't know.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. I understand. Did you feel that when you went into the small group? Did you feel there was like maybe one or two individuals, or do you think that you might have been that individual that made other people feel comfortable?
I think I actually was the latter of the two. Like um I felt like when I walked in, everyone kind of knew each other because I the girl that I went with and we both were really new, and they already formed the small group, so we were just coming in late. Um, and as soon as I walked in, like I felt like kind of not excluded, but I don't know, just kind of on the outside of the group, you know. And so I tried to go around and meet every single person and be really intentional about like introducing myself and getting to know them. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, I hear what you're saying. Like a new, if they've got a friend group that's already based and you're coming in as a new person, that can be kind of tough breaking into,
Mhm.
that circle of friends or a clique or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think also that, that everyone is focused on, whether it's a faith-based group that, they all have one thing that they're focused on um, that maybe there's something that you can connect with them on or just say, like maybe, have the same affirmations as them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
I want to go back to when you were a camp counselor. Um, how many years did you do that?
I started when I was 14, so I've been working with kids since I've been 14. Um, and I usually work summers whenever I get the chance. But yeah, I've been doing it since I was 14.
What What do you think? We already talked about your strengths. What do you think that why kids connect to you and why they look up to you?
Um, I think hmm, I don't know. I think mainly because when I'm with kids, like I feel like I'm a completely different person. I'm more open. I'm friendly. I'm confident in myself. Like I'm funny. I'm fun. I don't know. I make people feel like they're welcome. Like I make people. I try to make people feel like that they can talk to me and not feel like they're being judged. Like yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that same skill set you can take into, a new group or a new scenario? I mean, how is it different, and how can you see where you can use that skill set that the kids connect to you and use it with adults? Can you see that maybe you can
Mm-hmm.
use those same skills, or in that they would work, or do you think
Yeah.
you'd be judged?
I think I could. I one on one, like I could do that fine. Like I have no issue with being one on one with a person, and but if I'm in an environment when there's lots of people and I kind of have to be, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of
No, it
different
can
when
be
I'm one on one.
intimidating. There's a
Yeah,
lot, especially if it's a new program or a new environment, and you feel like everyone's looking at you
yeah.
and they're judging your appearance, um, and not, seeing the real you. Has there been a time like, um, where you can see after meeting a new person that, it takes one or two or three visits for you that you get comfortable, or can you see when they actually warm up to you? Can
Yeah.
you feel it?
Uh,
What do you think? Is it a time frame, or let me go back and just clarify my question. Do you think, it takes one, two, or three visits for you to connect to someone, or do you think it's maybe, your mood, or how you're perceiving people, or how you're, like the skill set that you told me about with the children? Do you think you're using that or keeping it in because you're afraid to show that to other people?
I think it's both actually. Like I don't have a lot of friends, but like I have like a lot of acquaintances and people that I know, but I have really good core friends. Um, and they're people that I've spent a lot of time with, and it takes a while for me to like genuinely be myself um, without being the person that I think that they'd want to get to know. You know, like someone
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah. So I have three really like good friends, and it took a while for me to open up and truly be myself. Um, and then what else was? Oh yeah, so like with the skill set, and I definitely have a fear of getting to know new people, um, at least in like big groups or people that like I kind of reserve naturally. Like because I'm an introvert, and I don't know, I did the whole Myers-Briggs thing, and I'm an INFJ, and so like sometimes I feel if I'm in the mood to get to know someone, then I'll kind of I'll be that outgoing person, but sometimes if I'm not in the mood, then I just kind of shut down and stay back and stay really quiet. But yeah, it just depends on the situation. I don't know. It's weird.
You said that you have three really, really close friends.
Mm-hmm.
When you first got to meet them, how was it initially?
Let me see.
Can you remember back when you first, like
Yeah.
pick one, and then
I'll talk about Riley. Riley, I met her. Well, she actually reached out to me, and um, she sent me a message on Instagram or something and was like, "Hey, I really want to be your friend," and like something like that, and it made me laugh, and I was like, "Oh, this girl seems really cool," and she's really funny. And even when I hung out with her one time, well, the first time I hung out with her, like, and we went and got coffee and studied, she was really open and really. I did not feel like an inch of judgment from her. She just genuinely wanted to know me, and like I don't know, and it felt real. And so that was one of those situations where it just came naturally, like we just clicked. And yeah, it didn't take a long time for me to open up to her. Like it just came naturally.
when you said that, the first thing I thought of when Riley reached out to you and said, "I want to be your friend," is almost childlike. It's almost like a childlike, very direct,
Yeah.
And I can see why you would.
Yeah, I know.
That you would like that.
Yeah, it's funny, and she was very clear. Like it wasn't like I feel like I have a lot of I don't want to say acquaintances, but they're friends, but they're kind of like coffee date friends, where they're kind of like not shallow, but like it's very surface level. Like, oh, we should get coffee sometime. Blah blah blah. Let's catch up. Like catch up friends. I don't like having catch up friends. I like friends that are there with me to go to Taco Bell at night. I don't know. Like I like having real friends.
Catch up friends are almost like when you're talking about the small talk and the superficial.
Yeah.
That you're catching, you might not see them for a couple weeks or a couple months, and so it's not as intentional as your core group of like three girlfriends.
Because I feel like they don't want to actually get to know me. They feel like they're obligated to get to or hear what's going on in my life because they've been around me so much, but they don't genuinely want, And so I guess kind of like I get kind of not guarded, but like I get kind of it turns me off. Like I don't like.
Nope, I understand exactly what you're saying. So I have another question. How do you think your three friends would describe you? Like if you're in a social group or if you're with other people, what would they say are your best assets and your best skill sets?
My best assets. I think I'm friendly. I think I'm again, like I genuinely want to get to know a person as a person, like being real with a person and making them feel like they can be themselves. I feel like that's a strength.
What would Riley say that your strengths are when you meet people and when you're with people?
When I'm with people, I think I'm pretty funny. I encourage people. Like I like to make people feel good about themselves. Yeah, I don't know. I like to make everyone feel like they're included because I don't like being excluded. So I think that's a strength too.
Right. No, I think that's your strengths too. So I have a question. Mm-hmm. When you go to your next small group meeting, do you think that do you think that you're going to be judged, or do you think that they're going to take you at face value, or do you think they'll try to get to know you better?
I think they'll try to get to know me better. I think since I already had that first impression thing, they'll know who I am, and then I'll have the opportunity to be more comfortable since I know kind of vaguely who they are too.
Do you like to say hi first, or do you like other people to reach out and say hello to you first?
I think it depends on the situation. Like if I feel like someone, I don't know, like if someone is friendly and they smile, like I wouldn't be the first person to say hi, but I'd be the first person to smile at them and be like, and pass. Well, actually, I guess I'm usually the person that says hi first. Like I'll smile and say hi, but I won't start a conversation.
Well, from what I'm hearing with you is that that, on your inside that some of your innate qualities is that you're warm, you're caring, you go out, you try to make people feel a part of the circle. And then on the other hand, I keep hearing that you're saying that you're being, judged at face value. Do you think that might be something internal that you keeps going around in your head, or do you think that, that's just a part of reality?
I think it's a part of reality. I feel like a lot of it has to feel like I feel like I've been conditioned to think that I have to only ask how a person is doing and do those superficial comments. Like that's because that's how I don't want to say that's how our culture is, but like that's how it usually goes. Like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm okay. Blah blah. I don't know, and I feel like I that's probably why I have such like an internal struggle, because I really like want genuine relationships, but then I keep getting in these small talk conversations and like I feel like I can't go any further, and that's, I don't know.
So, when we started out, that you first identified, the change you wanted to make is not being so shy, but now I'm hearing that maybe it's not that you're so shy, it's just maybe some of the people you're coming across might be shallow and superficial, and not want to get to know you. And so I've heard two different things. One was with the shyness, and that other people are really not taking the time to get to know the real you.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you've got 3 girlfriends that really did kind of go out of their way to meet the real you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why I think I feel more comfortable with them, because they made the first move, and they wanted to get to know me. And yeah, I don't know. I think I value that.
So in the future, like if you come up, to a situation and you're feeling really shy, what are some of the things that you can, that you have within you to overcome your own shyness and to reach out to other people and to make a connection?
I think recognizing that nobody likes small talk. I think that I know that what I value in other people is when they're honest and true to themselves, and I think that people think the same thing that I do, if that makes sense. Like,
Nope,
people,
it makes a lot of sense.
like people also value what's real. So maybe trying to even adjust the way that I talk to people and not just naturally go back to like, how are you doing? Like, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah.
Right, that you be more intentional too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that this is a good conversation. I think you're probably not as shy as you think you are, but
Yeah.
that maybe, what you value in others, you realize, just after we're talking right now, that they value the same things. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that, aren't.
Yeah.
But overall, that, that we're all kind of, as different we are, have the same desires that we want in other people.
Oh.
Okay, let me give you a hug.
Oh, thanks.
I don't do this with all my clients.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay.